So, we are now engaged in a battle. A battle takes place in different steps, and the first one that always offered is the cards play. Here you can see the Commonwealth, the attacker, has a lot of possible cards to play, like this one, with thick armor, which will prevent one loss on armor units, Sandstorm, which will reduce the duration of battle, or one which is quite interesting here, the Italian demoralization, which reduces the enemy morale. So let's play this card. You just drag and drop the card in the middle, and as long as you want to continue play cards, you just drop them here, right in the middle of the screen. If you don't, you just keep and click on this button. A battle takes place in different phases, as I explained. There is a 5 phase where the artillery on both sides will fire, then an air support phase where bombers will fight, and then a recon phase where reconnaissance units will fight. We will so an important point to check, and this is critical here, is the morale. The morale is the ability to sustain the duration of battle. It's located right on the flags of the sides in the diamond, and you can see how it's calculated by just putting your mouse on it. You can see that you have the average morale of the fighting units involved, the leader bonus if there is one, in our case O'Connor here. You can see if there is an armor bonus because you have tanks, an armor superior bonus if you have more tanks, many more, at least twice than the enemy, and an air force bonus if you have more planes than the enemy. So here, all these bonuses plus the average high morale of the British gives a 8 level battle morale. The Italians on the other side have already suffered a loss of morale because of demoralizations. That's why they are at 0. And their tanks just offset that. So let's start fighting with the fire here. And the artillery does nothing. And we will open here the battle log to see the results. Here you see we rolled a 16, which was way above what we needed to fight. Here the air support unit will fight again, and hopefully the Blenheims inflicted some damage, which is enough to get the Italian drop below 0 and rout. They will leave the battlefield because you can't fight when the morale is below 0. What happened is that in that case, because they routed, as you can see here, the Allies have a free round of fight against it to pursue. You just need to click here, fight, and they will fight without possibility of the enemy to reply. An interesting follow-up of battle is breakthrough. Breakthrough occurs when you win a battle with armored units. In our case, the 4th Brigade here. And all units which are allowed to follow or participate in a breakthrough, which are mainly mechanized units, like this one, motorized troops, or close air support tactical fighters, fighter bombers, will be allowed to participate. Those which are not allowed to participate, as you can see here, will stay behind. So for example here, our supply unit will not follow in the pursuit, and the Blenheim squadron will not participate. It's already gone back to Rome. So let's decide to pursue the retreating Italians here at Sidi Rezaiq, and we will continue the battle again. There will be a possibility to play cards. For the moment we don't want. We still have a very big battle morale. The Italians have recovered a bit, but they are not very good. Let's fire the artillery. Let's bombard. And we have now an interesting thing, which is the recon phase. Recon phase is allowed only when you have a reconnaissance unit, like these armored cars or small reconnaissance vehicles. The main point is that only those units will fight during recon phase. Let's consider it as a bit of skirmish. But the most interesting factor is that they have a retreat option on both sides, that is to renounce to the battle, because the reconnaissance units help you see what is centrally. At the moment, there is no point as a British to accept to retreat, because if you see at the bottom of the battlefield, you have the balance of power, 88% of the British to win the battle. So why should they retreat? But the Italians, because they have seen this reconnaissance, they might be willing to retreat, which means they will lose the battle and maybe suffer pursuit. So they do that. And they retreat, and you see they have retreated here, and it is a good, interesting option for the British to continue the pursuit. Again, we have many more cards, and here, as you can see, it's interesting. The battle takes place near the seaside, and our cards, like the Ryan Levy support, which were not available before because we are right in the middle of the land, is now available. So it's interesting to play one, which gives me an extra loss to the Italian during the phase. So you see, they take one hit from my artillery and one hit from my card. The Hurricane is still not good. The Recon does nothing. For the sake of purpose, I will not retreat with the Italian. And then we have the round with the fight. As you can see, the Italian have taken a loss on their unit. And because they are demoralized and they lost, a pursuit takes place with the Allies fighting once more with no replies. Though, in the end of this battle, you can see that it's all started here, and then the Italians were pursued here through breakthrough, and again here, and so finally, after 3 successive battles, they ended up here in Tobruk, and so on. You have to resolve all the battles in the list until they are done. You cannot move to the next steps of the game.